What is going on, guys? Once again, this is the Club of the Band 1993 back up here once again. Of course, it's Wednesday night, so now we have a double feature. Well, today was a triple feature because we had the Super Showdown predictions. Now we had 205 Live, and now we have NXT to talk about. For the October 3rd, 2008 edition of NXT, we're going to take a look back as always, talk about everything that happened on this show of NXT. Overall, a strong show. Last week's again wasn't bad, but it felt like it was just a weaker card pretty much. This week's wasn't too bad. I thought it was a little bit better. I was very, very close to giving this grade. This one a little bit of a higher grade, but I felt it didn't quite get there. But it was still, in my opinion, a very strong showing from the developmental brand, or sorry, the yellow brand, as well as, of course, I continue to want to pledge saying that NXT is now its own brand and not, and not just a brand of, what am I saying here? Not just a developmental brand for the WWE, as this is definitely, worthy of being called its own brand because this NXT is just so much better than main roster. But anyway, let's get right on track again. This was a strong episode. I enjoyed it. I'll give my grade, of course, towards the end. And let's see where it goes from there. We're starting off with Nikki Cross in a steamy hallway backstage talking about how much fun it is to play games. And she wants to play with Bianca Belair again. Nope, not in an immature way. Well, who knows? But we don't know what Nikki Cross is thinking. But she obviously wants to, play the mind games and defeat the woman who is undefeated. One more time, undefeated. She is just a challenge out again. They didn't follow the rules last time, though. And speaking of bad behavior, she knows. She knows. She knows. And of course, she's referring to she knows what happened with the attacks of Aleister Black before the week of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Ooh, boy. Again, I am very curious to see who it is. And I like that NXT has not made it too obvious of who it is. So I'm very curious to see who it ends up being. Who's the one who attacked Aleister Black? But, so we had our first match of the evening. It was Lacey Evans taking on Candice LeRae. Not a bad match. Again, I always said, how, I feel like something with Lacey Evans has been missing. And I feel like, it was brought the aggression. When Lacey Evans brings out a little more of an aggression on her opponents in a match like this, I feel like that's what I need to see more from her. Obviously, she's just, again, saying how she's all big first class and whatnot, and she knows what would be a real lady is like. But of course, she takes things further and she starts attacking Candice LeRae, calling her a loser, just like her husband, Johnny Gargano. And that's what causes, Candice to get a little bit aggressive. But, what was going on with Johnny before, it seems that Lacey Evans was trying to play a little bit, the mind games, get into Candice's head to throw off her game. That way Lacey can take advantage of what she does, because even after a referee goes to break them up, Lacey hits the women's right, even though I still think that finisher is weak, hits the women's right on Candice LeRae to get the victory. And of course, just things seem to be going a little bit rougher for the wrestling family, which of course is Candice and Johnny. But it was a pretty good night though for Johnny though, but we will talk about that a little bit later on, because I felt he had match of the night tonight. Could have been the main event, but unfortunately it was not. But still, it was a great match. Talk about that. Later on though, we have Mauro Ranallo then talking about having a great video package for the North American title triple threat match that we're going to get next week between Adam Cole, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. Adam Cole says it represents the future of NXT, about the legacy of the NXT North American Championship, where he's taking the brand. Pete Dunne talks about owning the UK and wanting to expand his legacy by adding the North American title. Cole says the only reason that belt matters is because of him. Ricochet says it was just a prop with the Undisputed Era as a leader. He respects what Dunne has done, but he's building the belt's legacy with great matches like the one he had with the Bruiserweight, and that would be the same thing in next week's Triple Threat, which I would do live reactions, but I'm not sure again with maybe I'll try if I'm able to watch that NXT live next week, maybe I will do live reaction, because that will be a dominating match. Like, if you thought Adam Cole and Ricochet was a great match, if you thought Ricochet and Pete Dunne was a great match. And throw the two of them against Ricochet, and well, of course, in a triple threat, of course, and let's see how much even better it can get. I think it could be a kick-ass match, but again, I'm not sure if I will be able to, have the avenue next week to do a lot of reactions for the match. So maybe I will, not sure yet. We'll see what happens with that, but I look forward to that triple threat match next week. Then we have Tommaso Ciampa back to filming his backstage interviews, saying that when you're on top, people will always accuse you of things. Maybe they're doing that to hide their own guilt. He talked about the Velveteen Dream, how his name is fitting because he's dreaming if he thinks Ciampa had anything to do with Aleister Black's attack. They both know what Aleister experienced. Velveteen Dream needs to stay out of the champ's spotlight. He reminds him to remember Tommaso Ciampa is a man who ended the fairy tale, and he'll end the dream if he doesn't mind his own business. And the thing is, Tommaso Ciampa is like take his mind like the time kissing his tail, but then shot the interview, he's just like, ooh, like he like quickly kisses it and he covers up. It's like, oh no, boom, boom, like pretty much. It's like it was just a weird. It's weird how he does it, but of course it works because it's Ciampa. Like you don't understand anything he does. But of course, he has dominant kick-ass theme music. Again, I will make that music video sometime this month, guys. I am going to make a music video to Tommaso Ciampa's theme music. No One Will Survive. Again, it is so badass. I cannot wait to do it. We had the Forgotten Sons taking on 3 jobbers in a 6-man tag match. It was quick. Put over to how dominated the Forgotten Sons are looking to be. I think things could be looking up for them. Then maybe they're looking pretty dominant so far. So we'll see what happens with the Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake, Jackson Riker, and Steve Cutler. Afterwards, we get a recap of the setup for Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler Evolution. Shayna is shown in a video package training. She admits she got complacent before Brooklyn, so she's running an old school MMA camp this time. They show her working with Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir in a cage. She says her camp is much more grueling and advanced than anything those girls do at the Performance Center. Baszler is going to prove that the women's wrestlers evolved and that she's evolved at Evolution. So, of course, probably get like a video package for Kairi Sane sometime soon as well. Then we got Tony Nese, the premier athlete from 205 Live, making an appearance on NXT, which I'm thinking, oh, it'd be cool to put Tony Nese on NXT because he's doing nothing on 205 Live. Again, he's one of the most underutilized stars, and still not getting much to do on 205 Live. So to put on NXT wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term deal. He's asked about why he's here. He does his usual spiel about his abs, giving us 8 reasons why he'll dominate here like he does on 205 Live. Johnny Gargano is then shown walking backstage, getting ready for the first match he's had since his loss to Velveteen Dream a few weeks ago. We have Kathy Kelly interviewing Bianca Belair, who insists to call her Miss Belair. I was going to call her Mrs. Ford since she married Montez Ford recently. She's heard that Nikki Cross wants to play, but she's not here to play, especially with that scraggly-haired widow. She will wrestle Nikki Cross again, and this time she'll embarrass her. After that, she'll still be undefeated. She collapses again at Kelly a few more times before she walks away. She's going, because I am undefeated. Remember, guys, Bianca Belair is undefeated. Undefeated, as she reminds us. Then we got what I thought was match of the night. And in my opinion, one of the best non-pay-per-view matches this year. This was a really, really good match. And I know, again, Tony Nese may not be here for long term. NXT probably just came down just to, give Johnny Gargano a match. But man, this proved to me that Tony Nese has a lot to offer on the table. If he is ever given a chance, whether it's 205 Live, NXT, even like SmackDown. Well, good luck on Raw trying to get opportunities. His name is Roman Reigns. But anyways, this match, Johnny Gargano and Tony Nese, was awesome from start to finish. The story, of course, Johnny Gargano is just realizing, he's just lost track of himself, and he's trying to find himself again. He's trying to be Johnny freaking wrestling again. And there was a lot of great back and forth action here between Gargano and Nice. The crowd was energized. They lead to a bunch of spears through the ropes for 2. Johnny nailed a kick. They had the sequence where they're like, rolling into kicks pretty much, which is pretty darn sick. And then towards the end of the match, it looked like, again, it was very physical, and it just really brought that out. Like, that story with, Johnny, you could tell during this match, the story they're telling is Johnny's just trying to find himself. And Tony Nese, being the premier athlete, obviously he's being overlooked as well, but he put on one of his best matches, I still feel, to this day. And the story's playing very well with Johnny, again, just trying to, be him and not, go to that dark place that he had been going to ever since TakeOver Chicago 2, when he's just been obsessed with being Tommaso Ciampa. He wants to, but he knows he has to eventually get back to him some way. It looked like Tony Nese was going to win. He had a 450 splash on Gargano. Johnny kicked out. Eventually, it did lead to Johnny, even though he was thrown into the turnbuckle, but he got back up, did a super kick, and eventually got Tony Nese into the Gargano escape to get him to tap out for the win. I mean, the main event wasn't too bad, but this, my friends, I still think should have been the main event of the show. This match was awesome. Again, it was just 2 guys who worked very well together, great chemistry. It was a very simple story. To me, it's one of my top 10 matches of the year, in my opinion. Again, this match was awesome. I loved it start to finish. If you haven't seen it, I recommend checking it out. But Johnny Gargano wins the match, and afterwards he takes this fan sign and holds up in the ring that says Johnny freaking Wrestling, showing that, hey, I'm fighting to be me right now. So let's go do this, guys. We also get told next week we're going to, besides the triple threat, we're going to see a match with Keith Lee and Kona Reeves. And in 2 weeks, we're going to see Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross go at it again in 2 weeks, and also that same week we will see the Undisputed Era take on the War Raiders for the tag titles. We then have our main event, EC3 versus Lars Sullivan. EC3 starts his entrance, then he skips through the whole thing. His charges after Lars Sullivan. As you know, EC3 was accused Lars Sullivan of being the one to attack Aleister Black, but Lars Sullivan took matters into his hands and attacked him a couple weeks ago. Now EC are back to pretty much, take out their anger on each other. I feel this could be leading to a pay-per-view match between the 2 of them. Not sure. But they brawl before the bell even rings. This was a great match in terms of physicality. And it also showed, the strength that EC3 has, as he picked up the human wrecking ball and did some slams with him, whether it was suplexes or whatnot. Again, it was a physical match. I would like to see a rematch between these 2. Again, do that TakeOver War Games 2. Could be a street fight. Could be Falls Count Anywhere. Let's do Falls Count Anywhere, since we had a street fight already in NXT this year. Falls Count Anywhere at TakeOver War Games 2. Because this match was physical. It was brutal. EC3 was bleeding in this match too. He got cut up a little bit in the face, like around the eye, around the temple area, and even around the mouth also. Like, these 2 literally went out there and laid it. And again, it really showed the power of EC3 that he really has in the ring also. He can mess with the guy like over 300 pounds like Lars Sullivan. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. As I said before, Lars Sullivan is, an intelligent monster, as he eventually turns the tables, hitting a freak accident on EC3 on the apron and doing a diving headbutt right to the heart for Lars Sullivan to get the victory over EC3. Not sure what's next. We'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe it was EC3 who attacked Aleister Black, maybe. I mean, again, like, EC3 as a babyface is all right. I don't know. I feel like, as a heel, he'd bring out more of a cocky side. So, like, he wasn't officially either one for a few weeks, but I feel like they were teasing more so being a heel when he first came in, but then they kind of like went to a babyface direction with him in the Velveteen Dream. So I think personally they should just transition to EC3 back into a heel role. So again, maybe he could be the one to be revealed to attack Aleister Black. Who knows? But again, it's a mystery. So who attacked Aleister Black? Good main event. I still feel the match between Gargano and Nese, though, should have been the main event. Again, that was an awesome match, I thought, in my honest opinion. But with that, guys, that'll be it for my live review of NXT. I was this close to giving it an A-, but I gave it a B+. Maybe if they would have switched around, you know, the main event and Gargano and Nice, maybe so I could have given this an A-, but I'll give this a B+. Strong show. What grade would you give this week's episode of NXT? Leave us down in the comment section below as always. And be sure to click my like and subscribe on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne83. And guys, I will see you guys tomorrow for my special live stream of the week, the top 10 women's/divas champions of all time. So until then, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for that. Have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.